Hello, welcome to another video from the Animal University channel. Let's go for the video. Komodo dragon. Komodo dragon, Varanus komodoensis, largest extant lizard species. The dragon is a monitor lizard of the family Varanidae. It occurs on Komodo Island and a few neighboring islands of the Lesser Sunda Islands of Indonesia. The popular interest in the lizard's large size and predatory habits has allowed this endangered species to become an ecotourist attraction, which has encouraged its protection. The lizard grows to 3 meters, 10 feet, in total length and attains a weight of about 135 kilograms, about 300 pounds. Although most young are produced through sexual reproduction, females that are isolated from males sometimes produce offspring through parthenogenesis. It digs a burrow as deep as 9 meters, 29.5 feet, and lays eggs that hatch in April or May. The newly hatched young, about 45 centimeters, 18 inches long, live in trees for several months. Adult Komodo dragons eat smaller members of their own species and sometimes even other adults. They can run swiftly and occasionally attack and kill human beings. Carrion, however, is their main diet item, although they commonly wait along game trails to ambush pigs, deer, and cattle. They seldom need to capture live prey directly, since their venomous bite delivers toxins that inhibit blood clotting. It is thought that their victims go into shock from rapid blood loss. Some herpetologists note that the physical trauma of the bite and the introduction of bacteria from the Komodo dragon's mouth to the wound also play roles in slowing and killing prey. Komodo dragons often find their prey in the process of dying or shortly after death. Between 1996 and 2021, the International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, IUCN, listed the Komodo dragon as a vulnerable species. Although the lizard's population included fewer than 1,400 adults, ecologists noted that it was stable and at low risk from hunting and other threats. However, in 2021 the IUCN decided to list the Komodo dragon as an endangered species because climate models suggested that between 30 and 70% of the species' habitat would be lost by 2040 to increases in sea level. Evolution. The Komodo's very own evolutionary branch made the move to Asia from Australia as a result of the collision of the two continents 15 million years ago. The presence of the Komodo dragon on the southernmost continent is further supported by evidence that it also mated with the sand monitor's forebears. However, its true origins began 40 million years ago when its ancestors made their way from Asia to Australia, where its ancestors grew to immense sizes, with the Varanus priscus being the largest of all at 23 feet long. Anatomy and appearance. Komodo dragons are enormous reptiles that can grow up to 3 meters long and weigh 150 kilograms. They are incredibly aggressive with long, thick bodies, short, muscular legs, and a powerful tails. Their tail is used for both fightings and for propping the animal up when it is standing on its hind legs. The Komodo dragon is an animal with long, sharp, curved claws that are often used for digging. Grayish-brown skin is covered in small scales and folds around the neck. Komodo dragons have relatively small heads compared to their large body size and wide, powerful jaws concealing a mouth filled with deadly bacteria and sharp teeth. Although Komodo dragons have good eyesight, they mainly rely on their forked tongue to smell their environments. By flicking its tongue out of its mouth, the lizard is able to taste scent particles in the air and locate live or dead prey up to 8 kilometers away. Distribution and habitat. Although the Komodo dragon was once been widespread across many Indonesian islands, they are confined to just 5 today, all within Komodo National Park. The islands of Komodo, Rinca, Gilimantan, Padar and the western tip of Flores are the last remaining homes for these enormous animals. Habitats include open woodlands along with dry savanna and scrubby hillsides, occasionally dried up riverbeds. Komodo dragons are thought to have evolved to be so big due to the presence of a number of large mammalian species that are now extinct and the lack of other large predators. Behavior and lifestyle. Komodo dragons are solitary and powerful predators, roaming territories dependent on the individual's size, covering a distance of around 2 kilometers every day. They are also known to be excellent swimmers, traveling from one island to another over a relatively long distance. Although they are solitary animals, a number of Komodo dragons will often gather around a single kill. In order to catch large animals, these lizards sit for hours, hidden in the vegetation, camouflaged by gray-brown skin. They then ambush the victim with incredible speed and force. Reproduction and life cycles. Besides feeding on a large carcass, komodo dragons reside in groups during the breeding season, around September, when nearby males fight standing on their hind legs, propped up by their tails, vying for breeding rights. After mating, females lay up to 25 leathery eggs in a hole made of soft sand. The young hatch after an incubation period between 8 and 9 months and have distinguishing cream bands, which they lose as they get older. Young komodo dragons are completely independent of the time they leave their shell. However, until they grow to a larger size, this young venture up into the trees, spending most of their time there until they are large enough to fend for themselves on the ground. These reptiles live for an average of 30 years in the wild. Diet and prey. The komodo dragon is a carnivorous predator that relies on large animals such as pigs, goats, deer, and even horses and water buffalo as prey. Komodo dragons have the ability to attack prey much larger than them. Even if unsuccessful upon ambush, they will follow the injured prey for miles, waiting until it dies from sepsis caused by deadly bacteria in the reptile's mouth. Young will prey on smaller animals mainly in the trees such as snakes, lizards, or birds. The teeth of this animal are sharp and serrated, good for the kill and tearing meat, but useless for chewing. Instead, komodo dragons tear bits off the carcass and throw it back into their mouths, swallowing it whole aided by their flexible neck muscles. Predators and threats. Due to the fact that the komodo dragon is the most dominant predator in its environment, mature adults have no natural predators in their native habitats. Upon the first arrival of people on the islands, the komodo dragon's lifestyle changed dramatically. Humans hunt these lizards and encroach into their native habitats to establish settlements and clear forests for timber and agriculture. Volcanic activity also threatens these animals, as the islands are geologically active. Events such as this lead to declines in prey species, in turn affecting the local komodo dragon populations. Komodo dragons were unknown until recently. Although komodo dragons have thrived in this part of the Indonesian archipelago for millions of years, they were unknown to the world until around a century ago. Initial reports came from a pilot stranded on Komodo Island after his plane crashed into the ocean. A species of pygmy elephant, thought to have now been extinct for thousands of years now, may have been a main source of food for komodo dragons at one point. The main prey sources of komodo dragons today were introduced by human settlers. Komodo dragons are venomous. The komodo dragon has 50 different types of toxic bacteria in their saliva that thrive on traces of flesh, causing bite wounds to quickly become infected. However, recent studies indicate that the real reason for such a high success rate in killing prey could be down to the fact that a venom gland exists in this reptile's mouth. Researchers in Australia had the rare opportunity to examine 2 komodo dragons that were put down in zoos due to terminal illnesses. The team found that the animal does possess a venom gland with venom capable of rapidly decreasing blood pressure and blood loss, sending the victim into shock and making it too weak to fight. Some compounds in the venom that reduce blood pressure were as potent as the world's most venomous snake, the inland taipan of Western Australia. Komodo dragons also possess a venom delivery duct system that is more complex than the ones employed by snakes. While snakes have a single venom duct behind their fangs, komodos have multiple ducts between their teeth. This means that instead of simply injecting venom with a bite, komodo dragons bite and pull their victims to ooze the venom into wounds during a long, frenzied attack. This finding makes the whole bacteria theory almost laughable compared to this nightmarish means of killing. Relationship with humans. Since their discovery on the islands around 100 years ago, komodo dragons fascinate and honestly terrify people as we deduce more about them. Habitat loss on the islands not only means that komodo dragons face being pushed into isolated regions, but they are also coming into closer contact with human activity, leading to negative wildlife-livestock interactions. Despite their seemingly slow and docile nature, komodo dragons run at speeds of up to 11 miles per hour in short bursts and are actually one of the world's known man-eaters. People have not only been ambushed but also bitten and then tracked by komodo dragons. Conservation status and life today. Today, the komodo dragon is listed by the IUCN as a species that is vulnerable in its natural environment and potentially faces extinction in the near future due to loss of habitat mainly from human activity, such as agricultural expansion. Although once widespread on numerous Indonesian islands, they are now confined to just a few, with between 3,000 and 5,000 individuals thought to be left roaming the rich, volcanic forests. However, increasing interest in these creatures from tourists gives locals more reason to protect them and their critical habitats. I hope you enjoyed this video enough and it was informative. Please like the video and subscribe the channel. Introduce us to your friends. Good luck to you all.